What is happening, sports fans? It's your main man, Matt, from the DFS 5-pack, rocking it solo Monday, September 6th. Happy Labor Day to everyone out there. Hopefully, all you guys and gals are taking today to appreciate what you have, spend some time with family, whatever it is. Hopefully, everyone has a good day. Obviously, I'm rocking it solo. Ryan had a tough night last night, so got me crushing baseball solo. I'm excited to talk this slate out. I always love these holiday slates. We got 7 games. Ownership, et cetera, is not really out yet, so kind of just going to play it by feel. Wanted to get it out early for you guys. I got some stuff going on this afternoon, so yeah. With that said, let's dive in and talk it out. All right, so as far as pitching options go, some real nice ones on a 7-game slate. Starting at the top, Zach Wheeler. He has not been great. Basically, since the All-Star break over the past month and a half, he's still been really, really good. Like that start against Tampa, he was dominant, had 30-plus DK points. Joe Girardi left him out in the 9th. He got shelled in the 9th, gave up a grand slam to Mejia, really brought down his DK score. That'll happen. Not saying that like it shouldn't count, but just know that. And then against Washington last time out, he just wasn't great. So I could see him bouncing back in a big way here in a pitcher's duel against Woodruff. It is kind of odd that he's the highest priced pitcher on the slate considering his recent form. So then we go ahead and take a look at Chris Sale, who's a little bit cheaper, 9,900. Just faced the Rays, wasn't great, only 3 strikeouts. Threw 95 pitches though, which is encouraging. I'm interested to see where ownership falls here, but I'm liking Sale. I think this is a nice bounce back spot for him. Just saw this team, which I like for an ace like Sale, and yeah, he's high on my short list here. Brandon Woodruff, same thing. Back to being in dominant form. Was really good against almost said the 49ers again, against the Giants last time out. You know, he's got 60 DK points combined, 60-plus over his past 2 starts. Back to the ace we know and love. I mean, it's hard not to like Woodruff and Sale over Wheeler, but definitely Woodruff. And then Sonny Gray. More solid than spectacular for sure. I know he's been popular, and when he's popular, he oftentimes fails. He's having a good year, though. The underlying metrics really like Sonny Gray. I'm a fan of Gray's stuff. In a cake spot in Chicago against the Cubs. I know they've been, okay recently. Had a good game yesterday, but I'm still taking the pitching side here. I like Gray quite a bit, and he makes sense. Ryu, not in this spot, no thanks. Taeyeon, not in this spot, no thanks. More interested in bats here for sure. Skubal is intriguing for sure. Wasn't good last time out, but man, Oakland's awesome. They're a tough spot. Never really want to face them. Tons of righty power. He just wasn't on that game. It's okay. We know that he's got a power that he struggles giving up the long ball, but the Pirates don't have many guys that can hit the long ball. Now he faces a pitcher instead of a DH. There's a lot to like about Skubal at 7,800. Interested to see where he falls in terms of ownership, but I think he's the clear spend down option as of right now. Ryan Yarborough, no thanks. Although it's not crazy just because of Boston's lineup right now, but still not in this park. Trevor Williams, no, not even in this matchup. I'm not interested. I just not a fan. Chris Bubich, no thanks. I think Baltimore gets a little too much disrespect, and they're definitely in play for me here, especially if they're going to be unowned. Corbin, no. The Mets are surely in play. Justin Steele was good last time out against the Twins. I'm not really buying what he's selling, and the Reds look like they're in a good spot. So I'm not interested in Steele. Bryce Wilson, no, he's had his moments, but I'm not trusting that. I think the Tigers are in play. And then Zach Lothar, no, the Royals are one of the top stacks on the board. I'm sure they'll get a lot of love, but they deserve it. They've got one of the hottest. Salvador Perez, man, what a year. 41 and a 102 right now. That's crazy. That's just crazy. So mad props to him. All right, so if I'm making one lineup right now as far as pitchers go, I mean, give me Woodruff for sure. Man, it's tough between the I think you could roll Skubal and just not even have to decide between those 3. Let's do that for now. We'll see if we have to change depending on our bats and stuff, or if we want to change. All right, so Mets and Nats. Trevor Williams against Patrick Corbin. We've seen this game. We've seen this series have offense. The Mets are actually swinging hot bats right now. Lindor's had a couple of really good games, back-to-back 20 spots. I know Alonso had a good game yesterday. Javier Baez had a big game, 36 spot. So VR had a really good game as well. Interested to see if people go back to them. But VR is cooking right now, leading off for them. So, yeah, he makes a ton of sense. Power, speed, upside. He makes a lot of sense. Corbin sucks. No two ways about that. So, the Mets are certainly in play. And then I don't think the Nats are crazy either. They've been pretty good. Not as good as the Mets, but Josh Bell homered yesterday. I could see stacking the Nats in what I assume will be a very low stack. Juan Soto's always elite. No different today. Lane Thomas leading off at 3,400. He's been really good. I mean, for a 3,400 leadoff hitter, you could do a lot worse than just plugging in Lane Thomas here. So both offenses in play here, not my favorites, but in play for sure. KC and Baltimore, we've got Bubich against Lothar. So starting with the KC side, they're just wildly in play. Perez is expensive. Merrifield's expensive. Mondesi is okay. And then after that, they're just like dirt cheap. So they just have guys cheap throughout their entire lineup. Hunter Dozier, 2,600. They don't have Soler anymore, which sucks. They got guys like Ed Olivares, Michael Taylor. They got nice fill-in spots. I will say, man, after Perez, Merrifield, well, I guess Benintendi and Carlos Santana also, but their lineup does get pretty weak. That said, people won't want to use those guys. So if I'm stacking the Royals, I'm going to use all their guys. Man, Santana at 3K seems like a joke. He's starting to see the ball better. Walks in back-to-back games, homer 2 games ago. Yeah, he looks like a nice piece of the stack for sure. And then the Baltimore side against Bubich, if they're not going to get any love, give me a lot of Baltimore here. I'd prefer if Mount Cancel plays, but we'll see. Either way, you got Mancini, cheap outfielders, Austin Hayes, big power against lefties. So I could see if I were to take a guess right now, Kansas City gets love. Baltimore doesn't get as much. I could be wrong there for sure. This is one where, if Casey's getting a lot of love, I think you play him in cash games. If they're not, I like him a lot in tournaments. Toronto and the Yankees, Ryu against Tyon. So 2 good pitchers. I think Ryu's slightly better than Tyon, but I think Ryu's just a little bit better than Tyon. It's just what it is. Tyon, not in his greatest form. He started off that Angels game really nicely. I love Toronto here. Just an ownership play. They are a little bit cheaper, though. I'm hoping that doesn't draw ownership to them. I hate that, but we shall see. They're still Springer. I mean, Teoscar's so cheap. Gurriel's red hot right now. Cooking. He's cheap. Alejandro Kirk, I hope's in the lineup because he's a really good catching option. Monster game yesterday. Not sure he will be. Interested to see what their lineup looks like. But, man, I like Toronto a lot, assuming they're going to come in under-owned. And then the Yankees, I see no problem going to the Yankees. Not sure how much love they get here. Sanchez with a monster 2-bomb game yesterday. Judge, Stanton, Gallo. Could actually see the Blue Jays with higher ownership just because of the prices. Stanton and Judge expensive. Gallo in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. After that, though, they're cheap. So Rizzo, Vogt, LeMahieu, Torres is still dirt cheap. So, yeah, I'm sure that'll be a combination. I could see Teoscar being popular. Righty on righty, not so sure. But, Torres and one of the first basemen for sure will definitely be popular on the New York side. So, we'll have to wait and see where ownership lands. But I think both these teams, the full stacks, are not going to be popular for either of these teams. People respect both pitchers enough. And I think you could definitely sell out, more likely to do so on the Toronto side. I just hate that their prices are – it's crazy to say this. I hate that they are priced down a little bit because that just draws ownership. All right, Tampa and Boston. So Sale was not great last time out. He still didn't get lit up. I'm not looking at Tampa here personally. I don't think you're crazy to use a couple leverage bats against him. Wander Franco's legit. Brandon Lowe will get no love in a lefty-on-lefty matchup, and he's having a hell of a year. Tampa's got really good hitters, so if you want to pull some pieces, do your thing. And then Boston, man, they're really watered down now. No Bogarts, no Kike. The bottom of their lineup is just weak. That said, I still the top of their lineup is so good. Devers day off yesterday. I bet these guys get absolutely no love. Whatever I said about the Yankees and Blue Jays, the Red Sox will get even less love here. Devers at 6,300, JD at 52, Schwarber at 57. They're 2 most expensive guys in lefty-on-lefty matchups. If you want to stack those guys, you're going to be on a small island, I'll say that. So, in play for sure. I always like stacking Boston at low ownership, even though I respect Yarbrough. All right, now we get to a game that I'm sure will have people flocking to it for offense. Bryce Wilson. Well, definitely the Detroit side. Bryce Wilson against Skubal. I like Skubal here, so I think you can pull pieces from Pittsburgh. Skubal has a power problem, giving up power. So Brian Reynolds, uh, Brian Hayes, Stallings. They've got some guys that are decent against lefties. Just probably not where I go today, unless the ownership is like all on Skubal and none on Pittsburgh. As far as Detroit goes, they're swinging a hot bat right now. I mean, Candelario is cooking. He's expensive, but maybe that will keep their ownership down, which kind of like they're almost expensive as Toronto now, which interested to see what happens with ownership because they're in the much better spot. People might flock there just because of the spot, or they might stay away because of the price tag. So I'm really interested to see here. I haven't stacked Detroit a lot this year at all because normally in their decent spots they get too much love, but I could see it today. They do lose the DH, which sucks, but it is what it is. Everyone has to deal with that. All right, Milwaukee and Philly, excuse me. Wheeler against Woodruff. I'm not looking at Philly here. I just don't think it's needed. Basically the same as Milwaukee too. I respect Wheeler a lot, even though I probably won't use him today. Like I'm not looking to stack Milwaukee against him. Yelich is dirt cheap, but hasn't been good. Could you pull a piece or two? Sure. I mean, Vogelbach walk-off grand slam. Could easily see him being in the lineup. And at 2,200, he's got big boy power. So that's all it is for me there. Not looking to stack those teams. And then last but not least, the Cubs and Reds. Sonny Gray against Justin Steele. Sonny Gray, one of the better pitching options on the slate. I think he's wildly in play here. I like him quite a bit. Justin Steele, I do not. So the Cubs are definitely a look here. Against the lefty, I like Castellanos, who's a little bit priced up. India's affordable. Votto's decently expensive. Suarez had a nice little stretch, but seems that might not have lasted. I like the whole Reds lineup here. They're one of my favorite stacks on the board. Just looking at the slate, ownership will dictate a lot about where I go. But as far as just the spot they're in, I like the Reds quite a bit. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wanted to get this out for you quick today so you guys can enjoy your holiday and those who have off work. And let me take the screen share off. If you want more content, more videos, more write-ups, more any of that stuff, go check out the DFS5pack.com. We'd love to have you. Appreciate you guys as always, and see you soon.